All right, audio test 1, 2, 3. What's going on, y'all? Good morning. It's Tuesday, December 9th on NASDAQ futures. We have 2 minutes until the 9:30 open. So let's go. So overall, I have a bearish bias on the charts, on the daily, on the 4-hour, on the 1-hour. However, we're coming into levels, London low and previous day low, where I might expect some kind of reaction and reversal before continuation further, especially with all of this liquidity that's being engineered right above. It just looks super suspect, right? All these, this trend line liquidity, it hasn't been cleared out, it's continued on its way down. So it feels like it's engineering some liquidity here. I'd really like to see it come down to the previous day low, but let's see what happens. We have an SMT down in here. We're at London low. We've taken previous 4 hours low. 15 minutes going to create a C2 candle. This might actually be it right here. But I don't take trades before 9:30. Boy. Look at that. Man. So here it formed this breaker. I don't typically like buying the 9:30 candle. I like it a few candles later. Here's this volume imbalance. Let's see if it taps into that. I didn't execute anything here yet. I'm still waiting to see. Just curious if that had given 3R, if I'd executed a minute earlier. Nope, wouldn't have. So glad I didn't just FOMO into that. Let's see what ES and YM are doing. I like that it's coming down. It can take a few more candles to form a reversal and then give me a trade either in this macro or in the next macro. It was looking really like it wanted to do it, especially given that it had tapped into the London low there. Oh, wow. So we formed a 15-minute C2 candle, and then this one just blasted right through it. YM is completely decoupled and took London highs. Look at this. So let's see if a gap forms here. We did create, look at that, relative equal highs. Let's see what happens. 933. All right, we tapped into the previous day low. So I typically like to give it a little more room, the stop below the body that closed below the fair value gap. However, in this case, kind of really don't have, we got this huge candle down here. So that's acceptable. Okay. It's looking like now is not quite when it wants to do it. Maybe the next candle. I do like how it came down, balanced that out a little bit more. I would like to see a closure down in here, and that would give me a good place to put my stop loss. So yeah, like this. Now if it closes above that inversion, I can go into something like that. All right, here we go, I think. It's gonna probably give me, ooh, boy, boy. Now it's, let's see what she does.
Order filled.
All right, so limit order, tapped into it. Let's see it push. We got this inversion right there. And we let her ride. Come on, NQ, let's go. But the reality is, I don't know the outcome of this trade, and it could be a loser, it could be a winner. I have no clue, but I've accepted that the risk that I put out here is the fee to get into this trade. So if I lose it, that's just a part of the game. Like I know I'm going to lose 60, what is it, 60 or 58% of my trades, and approximately I'm going to win 42% of them. So let's see. So my rule is at 1R, I go break even. So now I'm risk-free in the trade. Two R, I can tuck my stop up if I got some place to put it. I'd really like to see some form of fair value gap fill form right there. Let's see, we still got 50 seconds left on this candle, so it's Not totally certain a gap will form, but that'll give me some at least one layer of protection against my break even stop getting tapped. Cool. Let's go NQ. Keep going. So everything's in sync. I'm liking that. All right, she's pushing hard, so I'm gonna start trailing my stop. You know, I'm not gonna be greedy. That's good for me. Let's see if another gap forms. We got some nice push. Don't slow down now, NQ. Let's go. So these equal highs we're taking right here, that is a point in which it could potentially reverse. It's only 2.5 R. 3 R is right in here, actually. So let's see. I'm going to put up my position tool. So not quite there. Push, push, push. So now at this point, I am going to tuck my stop here. It's one or the other. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm going to chicken out just because of the way that candle's forming. I think it could come down, tap into that gap a little bit. The way it's stalling, I do feel like maybe closing it if it's because I'm happy. This is 3R, which is where my original TP should have been. I just went up to those highs above it just a little bit.
Stop filled.
Cool. So took me out 253 in profit. Should have been more like 400, but so there we go. I got a little greedy. I thought it was going to come up to these highs, and my 3R would have been oh 310 versus 253. So not a big deal. I thought it was 4 something. But cool. I mean, I'll take it. That's a W. Curious to see what it does here. And had this just been a single liquidity point, I probably wouldn't have worried so much. But given that it was equal highs, it likes to take equal highs and then come back, even if it's going to continue on to its destination. So while I do have faith that it's going to come up into here, like all of this, I mean, look how juicy that is. What I didn't want, I didn't want to come deep back against me before going up there. So, and my rule is 2R, I tuck my stop up a little bit. So yeah, I can see it both ways. I can see how I protected myself. I still got a reasonable return on my trade, but I can also see how if I hadn't have gone break even at 2R or 1R, and also not trailed my stop, which is not exactly, it's not in my rules either way, whether I can or can't trail my stop once it starts pushing. I guess I need to maybe define that a little further, because I'd be curious to see If I had let it be, does it continue on up into here, if that makes sense? But let's see what happens. Order, now that I think about it, order flow is bearish. So while I do expect some means of mitigation of this liquidity pool, I don't know how far it's going to go. If it was bullish, I guess I would say confidently it's going to come up into here. So given that the trade was against order flow, it might have been better to have not been greedy and just stuck with the 3R. So I'm going to make a note of that. So just a little lesson here to think about going forward. So let's look at this trade we had in IFVG, which had we had a previous day low, we had a 4-hour low, we had SMT, we had high probability liquidity targets, which was trend line and equals. We had assets in sync. What else did we have? We were in the macro. So yeah, I'm glad I'm out of this trade. We had we had 12 a.m. as a target. We had the opening range gap. Which, yeah, now looking at it, that makes sense. It tapped into, I'll show you over here, price tapped into this 15-minute breaker right here perfectly and rejected. And I was targeting like right to probably like this high. So I can see where there could be resistance. Bearish order flow is bearish. It looks like it may push up eventually. But definitely going into more of a consolidation right there. Oh, right, I wanted to note there is news here at 10 a.m. And price is just consolidating. Looked like it wanted to do it for a minute. Nice bullish candle closing above that inversion. I'll take it. That's forget what my risk was on this trade. Risk was 100. I still made 2.5R. I didn't know my risk was that low, actually. I would have gone in with more contracts. Oh, right, it happened so quickly. I thought this candle was going to close way up here. So I was thinking about marketing in, changed my, I think I changed, it's hard, it's interesting. I'd be curious to go back and watch, like, did I change my limit order to 3? I don't remember, but I certainly wanted to risk more than that. But I'll take 2.5R. So that was the trade. I was in it for 3 candles. I'm just curious to see which way it plays. If it consolidates forever, I don't care. But I'm just curious if in the next handful of candles it comes up in here and taps 3R or the 3.5R I was targeting, or if it comes down and would have hit my stop. And I guess in a way it makes me slightly feel a little better, like, oh yeah, I did good because I got 2.5R and it just would have stopped me out in the end anyways. Or though, I guess this was all from, if I would have left my 3R, then I'd be done no matter what. So trying to justify my actions a little bit. I guess that's deviating from my plan. Maybe I need to consider that. So, okay, I don't want the Dom. Get some quiet, cozy jazz going for a snowy, wintry day. What do we got? 8 minutes until the red folder news. Which one is it? It's Jolts. I don't know. That doesn't seem to match up with the economic calendar. So let's see what the news indicator is suggesting this is. Table, show news table. It's saying Jolts is at 10. Whereas this says Jolts is at 8. Oh, I wonder if this is on a... I wonder if my news calendar is on a different time zone because I had to completely reset my browser. Just gonna come over here. I got this little tiny window up on another vertical screen. I'll do it over here. Where is it? Mountain time. There we go. Yep. Well, that's that would mess with me. GMT. Eastern time. There we go. Jolts at 10 a.m. That makes way more sense now. Okay. Put this over here. Back where it belongs. So the 2 degrees news indicator is correct. I do like it. It's a good indicator. I'm happy I'm out of this trade. So just sit back, sip on some chai tea. And wait for another 6 minutes. So here, this indicator identified that whole thing as the first presented fair value gap, which it's correct, in that there's a little volume imbalance down in there. But I had my stop below the volume imbalance anyway. So it's forming some trend line liquidity up on the top side here. Took these lows. Ooh, excuse me, but it's forming. Looks like it wants to form an equal low or another low. Let's see. Four minutes until news. Five-minute chart's ugly. Oh, can you hear that, Jazz? I'll turn it down. I adjusted my mic so it wasn't clipping so much my voice. I originally had it set like that because my computer fan can be pretty loud. And then I was able to listen to music and not have that be picked up on the mic because I really like listening to music. Like calm music when I trade. I don't like listening to music that pumps me up because then I feel like that can put you in the wrong mindset. Like you don't want to be pumped up and ready to go and ready for a dopamine hit and ready to take a trade. Because some days are not those days. Two minutes. Let's go. What do you think it's going to do? One minute. Now it's built some liquidity down here too. A little less obvious when it does that. Given it's taken the previous day low, I feel like it wants more of this, but again, that's against order flow. And this has a no tail on this candle currently. Perfectly on 9:30 open. All right, mitigated that pool of liquidity. This candle took these highs, took all of this. Not moving very fast, but sometimes it's a little delayed. Looks like it wants buy side so far. But gosh, where was my entry? Yeah, I'm glad because my rules for certain would have, yeah, I'm happy with the way it all played out. Slow delivery. So I was hoping it would do something cool like slam up or slam down. It was only jolts, which is not really a big mover, but it doesn't mean it can't. I mean, all this consolidation for a 100-tick candle. That's not usually how it works. I mean, 930 had more volatility than jolts did, so. But I'll take it. Green on the day. So yeah, I guess that's probably it for me today. Green enough on the day that I'm not going to take another trade. So I'll sign out here. And what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is FOMC. So I don't know. I might stream in the morning. For sure the afternoon. Oh look, now it's moving. Delayed by 2 candles. There we go. Target hit finally. What I was gonna say is I'm glad I did what I did, because had I decided to hold for that 4 hour or whatever it would have been, I would have brought my stop to break even, and I would have been tapped out for nothing. So the way it played out, fine enough. But yeah,